Hi, here we're looking at Mr Brightside by The Killers. And the groove that we're going to look at first is the crunchy, affected one at the top of the piece, which is actually the same as what's played during the verses, which is this. So we've got two open hi-hat notes there of different duration. We've got the last 16th note of beat 3, which will coincide with your left hand, and the and of beat 4, which is for an 8th note duration and will land with the bass drum. Essentially, the biggest challenge with that is its speed, because it's fairly rapid. Also worth noting that it starts on the last 16th note of the beat. So after 8 bars of that affected feel, we then get a further 8 bars with the full drum sound before we transition into a more regular 8th note feel. So I'll play 4 bars of each of those. So we get 12 bars of that loose feel on the hi-hat, and then we get a further 4 bars, the sort of pre-chorus, moving over to the floor tom, which then takes us into the chorus. So let's have 4 bars of each of that. And here are those 4 bars a little more slowly. The chorus then resumes that single stroke 16th note feel on the loose hi-hats. Before transitioning over to a crashy ride sound for the final 8 bars. A couple of things to watch out for in verse 2. We've got the stop after 6 bars with an 8th note fill that reintroduces the groove, and then we've got a 16th note fill that leads us back into the pre-chorus. So here's that stop and the fill that reintroduces the groove. And the fill before we transition to the loose 8th note fill on the hi-hats. After the second chorus, we've got the 8-bar breakdown section, the first half of which is 16th notes on the hi-hat. Then we've got this crescendo, again playing 16th notes on the snare until the final broken 16th note fill that leads us into the final choruses. So here are those 8 bars. And finally, during the last 16 bars, we're over on the crashy ride cymbal sound again. And in the final few bars, we've got the introduction of the eighth notes on the bass drum for that sort of Keith Moon-esque sound. So here are those last 16 bars. And those final four bars a little more slowly.